Okay, so the last little bit in chapter 1 for your prep work for tailoring, and of course she's referencing wool fabric. Silk I just chuck in the washing machine, cotton, linen, all that just goes in the washing machine. But wool, if you throw it in a washer, can felt on you, which basically just destroys the quality of the fiber. So I have here 4 yards of wool that I found at a store, and I did burn test it is wool. So I'm going to follow her guidance for getting this prepared for tailoring. Now the first thing she says to do is trim your selvages. You can either tear them off entirely or cut them every inch and a half. The reason you do that is because as the wool pulls in on itself and shrinks as part of the prep work, if you don't cut them, then you can end up with these weird bunches along your selvage line. So I'm not going to be real precise with this because, well, I don't want to sit here with a tape measure and be like, oh, that's an inch, that's an inch, that's an inch. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and trim 4 yards every inch and a half. Here. Okay, so for step 2, she says you can roll it on like a fabric roller. Now, that I'm sure is an industrial thing. That's part of how they get fabrics on bolts. For me, I don't have a roller. I do have fabric boards, but my fabric boards are for 45-inch wide fabric, and this wool is 60 inches. So even doubled up, it's not quite going to be long enough. But I have here a curtain rod, or it's doweling you could use for a closet, basically, if you wanted to hang clothes on it for a very short closet. You can buy these again at any home improvement store would have them. They're like inch wide, inch and a quarter wide doweling. So what she calls for with this is you lay your fabric nice and flat and smooth, right? And you get your piece of muslin. And she says your muslin should be about a yard longer than the fabric that you are going to be rolling, all right? So now my muslin is 45 inches wide, and I want the board to be fully covered. And essentially, we're just going to very slowly and hopefully evenly roll this up, okay? Now, very important is to make sure there's no wrinkling, like heavy wrinkling in the wool as you do this, because apparently you can shrink the wrinkles into the wool, which would be problematic. It's apparently very hard to remove the wrinkles from the wool, which I believe. And all we do is roll this up, keeping it nice and smooth as we go. Somewhere out there's somebody who works actively with wool who's having a heart attack watching me do this, going, oh my God, she's ruining it. You know what? I got it at a discount store in my area. It cost me about $4 a yard. I'm not horribly going to be crying if I wrecked it, although I'll be sad because I did have plans for it. It won't destroy my life, so. That's okay. That is essentially what you're supposed to do. Let it dry for, like she said, 4 to 6 hours. Let it sit like this for 4 to 6 hours. And then take it off of the bundle, let it hang to dry, and that is supposed to pre-shrink your wool fabric. At least that's what they did in 1926. These days you can take it to the dry cleaner and have them do it for you, and they will pre-treat it for you exactly how you want it to be treated when you're done with the finished garment. But that's where we're at for now.